Ever since I first heard about LA Noire, I couldn't wait to play it. And now that I've had some time with—
Excuse me, Dave.
Oh, hi GLaDOS. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. You, on the other hand, seem to have a problem.
And that is?
Besides the fact that all these cameras seem to be adding 10 pounds. You never reviewed Portal 2.
Well, it came out a while ago, so we kinda had to skip it.
I think you should reconsider. For science.
High target acquired.
Whoa! Okay, let's all calm down a bit. I guess I could take a couple of minutes to talk about Portal after LA Noire, so how about you just call off the turrets?
I can't do that, Dave.
Okay, well I guess it looks like I'm going to be reviewing Portal 2.
A wise decision.
I'd like to start out by saying that Portal 2 is a game with few flaws that has something for everyone. The voice casting is just awesome. Stephen Merchant and J.K. Simmons deliver their lines perfectly, and they really kept me laughing throughout the game. In fact, it's one of the only games that I have just sat still listening to everything that a character had to say.
Okay, ready? One. Catch me, catch me, catch me! Ow! Ow. I am not dead! Okay, down these stairs. Jump! Actually, look at it, that's quite a distance, isn't it? Okay, you know what? Go ahead and jump. You've got braces on your legs, so you're all set. Although no braces on your arms, though, so you're gonna have to rely on the old human strength to keep a grip on the device, and by extension, me. So do really make sure you keep a grip on me. Also, a note, no braces on your spine either, so don't land on that. Or your head, no braces there. That could split like a melon from this height. So do definitely focus on landing with your legs. Ah! Oh, still held! Still being held. That's a great job. You've applied the grit, we're all fine. That's tremendous.
What about my performance?
You were great too.
Good answer.
Anyways, the gameplay is much like the first game, but with some additions to keep you occupied, since this game is about 4 times longer than its predecessor. And these additions really help. So now you don't just have portals to deal with, but various gels that alter the physics of the game. There's also a much larger area to explore. Throughout the game, you'll travel from the lab's testing area down to the older sections that give you a look at Aperture's past. Unfortunately, the single player does have one problem, and that's that it's too easy. And as a result, it's also too short. This is made worse by the fact that Portal is a puzzle game, so once you have figured out all the rooms, there really isn't much replay value. That being said, the story is pretty satisfying, and even though the game is short, it doesn't feel rushed.
What about my cooperative initiative?
Oh yeah, and another new addition is multiplayer, which gives you a chance to solve puzzles with a partner. And overall, it's a lot of fun. The only downside is that depending on the problem-solving skills of your partner, one player may find that they don't have much to do other than stand on a button while the other solves the room for them. In the end, Portal 2 is a game that everyone should play, even though the amount of entertainment it provides sometimes make you feel like it's a little overpriced. So I give Portal 2 a 9.
A 9? Really? Why not a 10?
Well, you know, it was a great game, but it wasn't perfect.
That reminds me, I have another game I would like to review. It's called Tales of Deadly Neurotoxin, and it's a game in which you are locked in a room with deadly neurotoxin. Unfortunately, this game is also a bit short, but I still give it a 10. Back to you, Dave. Oh, right, you're dead.
Oh. Who? What? Where? Okay. Ah, jeez. Okay. Dream sequence. Cool.
I'm Cole Phelps, LAPD. I know you've been through a lot, but why don't you just start out by telling me what happened?
Well, I was trying to review LA Noire, and then she just came out of nowhere. Forced me to talk about Portal.
What can you tell me about your attacker?
I don't know, big, metal, packing a bunch of deadly neurotoxin.
You expect me to believe that?
Yeah, kinda.
You know what I think? I think you made the whole thing up. And if you don't come clean right now, you better get used to seeing the inside of a jail cell.
You better have some proof to back that up.
Sorry. I made a mistake. Tell me about LA.
Well, I've been looking for it for about a year, so I was really excited.
What did you do while you were there?
I spent most of my time scouring crime scenes, questioning witnesses, and interrogating suspects.
Sounds exciting. Did you see any action?
Some, but not as much as you would expect in a Rockstar game. The focus in LA is more on investigation of cases, most of which can be solved by gathering the right clues and asking the right questions.
What kind of cases were you assigned?
I started out in traffic and worked my way up through the ranks from there. My hours spent in traffic dragged a bit, mainly because the cases were a bit obvious. I found myself solving cases at the first crime scene, but still having to do the rest of the work to close the case.
So now you think you can do my job better than I can?
Well, no, I just mean that traffic got a little bit boring, but it actually gets a lot more interesting, when you get to homicide.
Tell me about your interrogations.
The interrogations are really the core of this game. You really need to pay close attention to the subtle changes in a person's face and their manner of speaking in order to tell if they're lying, telling the truth, or just holding back.
Excuse me, what size shoe do you wear?
Size 10? Why?
Oh, I just ask everybody that question. So, tell me, were you actually able to see if people were lying just by looking at their facial expressions?
Yes, the new motion scan technology that they used was really impressive. Faces were incredibly realistic and really able to show expressions better than any game I had played so far. The only problem with this is that it left a bit of a gap between the quality of faces and the rest of the body, which can sometimes look odd.
Do you think you could pick any of the people you met out of a lineup?
Definitely. One of the side effects of the motion scan is that the characters in the game resemble the actors that played them. So you see a lot of familiar faces. There was one of the guys from Fringe and a girl from Bones, and even, that dude from Heroes.
Heroes was a terrible show!
The first season was okay.
So, tell me about your movements in the city. Where did you go?
Have you ever considered you might be a little bipolar?
Don't push it. Answer the question.
Okay, fine. LA was an open world, and it was a huge city. However, the strange thing about it was that even though I could go anywhere, there wasn't much to do. I had to stop a lot of street crime while I was on my way to crime scenes, but that was it. And since each street crime had a specific location rather than being random, I spent too much time driving somewhere only to have to turn around and drive miles out of my way to fight crime. This actually got pretty tedious. I would have liked to see some more activities in the city, like some mini games or something. Although not all the driving is boring, there are a good amount of chases in it as well, which work well for the most part. However, my favorite part of the game was the foot chases. Some suspects just book it as soon as you identify yourself as a cop, and then you have to chase them through the city as fast as your legs can carry you.
So what's the verdict then?
Well, LA Noire, it's really an impressive and innovative game, but there are parts that do get pretty repetitive, and the story really isn't satisfying. So it's a good game, but it could be better. So in the end, I gotta give it an 8.
Well, it looks like this case is closed.
Wait, don't I get a phone call? Something? Anything? Hello? Hello?